Good morning. Good morning, YouTube. To my loyal subscribers, if you are watching this, it is most likely the morning. I am filming this at night. I just finished up at the YMCA. Since my last upload, a couple things have changed. I have moved. I've gotten a new place to live. You can probably see it in the background here. I'm doing another walking and talking video. But I could have made this video in the next couple days. I really could have. But while my thoughts are fresh on my mind, I wanted to get this out now. And as you can see in the title, I just want to discuss my thoughts and in my opinion, if anyone out there really cares, which my loyal subscribers do. I know y'all. It's right here. I just want to talk about something serious, like something that I really have thought about. I want to talk about the outlook of youth sports, specifically youth sports in America, youth sports here in the South, and perhaps even more regionally, youth sports in the upstate of South Carolina. That's where I live. I'm up here. As you can tell by my shirt, I am a referee. I am a referee at the Anderson area YMCA. I ref basketball. If you know me, you know I grew up playing basketball, played a lot of basketball, played in high school, middle school, rec league. I've done it all. Played a lot of basketball, been around the game, and I enjoy refereeing. I truly do. And I know this video so far might sound like I don't, but I truly do enjoy refereeing. It's a great way for me to, on a monetary sense, you make a little bit of extra cash. I mean, it's nothing major. It's not going to pay your bills, but it's a nice little spending money, beer money, however you choose to indulge in this extra money. But it's nice. It's nothing major, but it's nice to get a little bit of extra money on the side to spend. But more importantly, it's a great way to stay around the game. It's good exercise, running up and down the court. You get around people, parents and kids. I'm also a coach. It's fun to inspire youth and help and be of servant in that regard. Like, these are good things. And it's nice being a referee, and I enjoy that. But I'm going to tell you, and to those of you who are listening, I hope you hear this. Like, and you can mark this. I mean this with every ounce of my body. I mean this. We're in a dangerous place in youth sports right now in America. We really are. And it's the parents' fault. I know pay for play is a challenge, and I know youth sports becoming more expensive, and I get that. Let's table that. That's not what this video is for. I understand that completely. And there are issues, and there's leagues, and there's challenges there. I get it. It's not what this video is about. Youth sports are dying because each year there are fewer and fewer people wearing this shirt. And it's because the parents are insufferable in these games. Insufferable. As a referee, there is no one on the court, maybe than the other referees, that want to make correct calls more than I do. No one. I want to make every single call be perfect. I want it to be at the right time. I want it to be on the right player. If there's a foul, if it's out of bounds, I want to call a 100% perfect game. But here's the reality. I'm human. Everyone on that court's human. And we're going to make mistakes. That's point number one. We're going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. It's naturally going to happen. We're not robots. We cannot call everything perfectly. Second, this is the YMCA, folks. This is the YMCA. This is not the NBA Finals. This is not the Final Four. This is not the Summer Olympics. Shout out Winter Olympics, the United States going right now. This is not that. This is 10-year-old boys and girls basketball. Because of that, the pay does not remotely warrant that of a professional official. It just doesn't. I'll be transparent in this. I make $25 a game. Okay? Again, it's nothing life-changing. You're doing it because you enjoy the sport. You're not doing it because of the money. It's not going to pay the bills. Now, you got 3 games a night, so you make $75 a night. You can ref 2 or 3 nights a week, so $150, $200 a week, which is nice. It might cover your gas bill in the winter. I mean, I have a townhouse, and my gas bill was $100 last month. Like, you got a family of 4, and it ain't covering the gas bill. It's just not. You're not doing it for that. You're doing it because it's a good way to stay active and stay involved in the sport and all that. You're doing it out of love for the game. This position does not require certifications. I didn't have to take an exam. I don't have to pay a fee to the state of South Carolina to be a ref. I don't have to do any of that because it pays $25 an hour. I'm doing it because I want to be around the game. You have imperfect people and a lack of skill set. You have to realize that we cannot call everything. We cannot. We're not going to call everything because we are not capable of seeing everything. We are not 100% trained on the exact technicalities of a reach in and a blocking foul and a charge. Now, granted, we've all been around basketball. We know how the general game should flow. But if you've ever watched a 10-year-old game, there's a big difference between 10-year-old boys basketball and NCAA Division I. There's a big difference. You know, I mean, you got Clemson up the road here about 10 minutes, and you got Anderson, the YMCA, about 20 minutes south. There might be 15 miles in between them, and there's a big difference there now. Big difference. We're imperfect. We can't call everything. And then here's the last point that's also true, and this is just so tough. You got 3 games a night, right? You got 3 games a night. And each game can only be an hour long. Now, you play quarters and whatnot, but you have to keep the game flowing at some point. What I'm trying to say is as the officials, we cannot call every single thing. Because if we do, the game will be 4 hours long. Because there's a travel, there's a double dribble, and there are multiple fouls every possession. Guaranteed every single time, no question. Every single time there are multiple fouls, multiple infractions that are against the rules. There just are. But you want the game to be choppy or you want to flow to the game? And before anyone comments, we are keeping the kids safe. We're obviously making sure that no one gets hurt. We got to keep the kids safe. We got to keep everyone on their feet. We get that. But you can't call every double dribble. You can't call every travel. Because if you do, they're never going to score. The game will end 0-0. There will never be a score. I've been doing this all year. Since the beginning of 2026. So I know we're in like a month and a half here. And I've been doing it multiple times a week, each week, for the basically 6 weeks of 2026. And each time I go, there's always at least one game. Normally it's just one, but sometimes it's 2. Where the crowd's insufferable, people are insufferable, accusations thrown out from the stands. They're just awful. And when I say youth sports are dying, here's what I mean. There's 2 parts to this. Number 1, you get paid $25 an hour. I don't get paid enough, and I don't think any official gets paid enough for the record at this level. College is a different story, but at this level, no one gets paid enough to go there and get berated for an hour straight every single time you go out in there and ref. Just no one does. $25 an hour, I'm not taking it. That's ridiculous. Now if I got paid $200 a game, yeah, you can say what you want. But I'm not going out there to get criticized on every single thing I do for an hour straight, multiple times a night, multiple nights a week. That's ridiculous. And people are fed up with it. The refs are fed up with it. This is ridiculous. Okay? We're doing our job. We're trying our hardest. Are we perfect? No. And we're not going to be perfect. And we are very upfront about that. We are not going to be perfect. And frankly, if you are one of those people who expects us to be perfect, then you're hoping that your pie pizza is New York City. Okay? It ain't. You're putting your expectations in the wrong place. It's just not. Burger King ain't Five Guys. It's a good product. It's good for the price. But Five Guys is a definitively better burger. It just is. The second thing, and perhaps more pressing, this is actually why I wanted to make this video, is you might not think this. If you're watching this applies to you as well. You might not think this. But those 10-year-olds, those 12-year-olds who I also ref, they're looking at your actions. Every single day, they're looking at your actions. You might not think it. They are, though. They're listening to what you say. They're watching how you do things. They're reacting to your decisions. They're logging these. They might not remember every single one. But they notice it. And when you have parents yelling at officials from the sidelines using profanity, making accusations, throwing tantrums. You're setting a horrible example. And these kids are seeing that. And because you're doing it, it's marking to them as okay. Which translates in the immediate future to extracurricular contact after the whistle's blown, and overall disrespect to officials and teammates, especially opposing players. And in long term, it creates the exact same person that you are down the road, but even worse, because as a society that we live in, because we live in a society, as a society is deteriorating morally. Every day, this society in America deteriorates. Every single day. We are morally falling short. And I'm not going to get into that, and I understand that there's people with differences and differences of opinion, but if you think that we are as morally upstanding right now as we were 20 years ago, you're out of your mind. And that was not as morally upstanding as we were, 20 years before that. Are there issues? Of course. But people treated each other differently 20 years ago. They did. There's less just general animosity towards each other. And look, you can say that's because of this reason. Maybe it's political. Maybe it's these figures. And I understand there's probably multiple reasons for it. But we as a society are deteriorating morally, and we're treating each other worse and worse and worse day by day by day. This is only going to get worse. Officials are only going to get treated worse and worse as the years go on. And what you're going to have happen is people are going to say, I'm done. It's not worth it. I'm not getting paid enough. I get paid $25 a game. I'm not getting paid $25 to go get, my butt chewed for an hour multiple times. It's not happening. Okay? So then you have people who were in the profession, who have a little bit of experience, might be able to provide a little bit more insight, saying, nope, they're walking away. Well, those jobs have got to get taken by someone. They're going to get taken by high schoolers, which is okay. That's fine. But your product's going to deteriorate. You think the product right now with the officiating's bad, your product's going to get even worse when you have high schoolers. And for the record, high schoolers aren't doing that either. 16-year-olds are going to say, nope, I'm done. You lose your experience, you lose your high schoolers, and you have no one to officiate your games. You got to remember, there's two sides to a market. There's a supply side and there's a demand side. You might have the biggest demand in the world for a particular good or service. You might. You might be willing to pay $150,000. Shout out Carolina Mike. Because if I had $150,000, I'd build a basketball court too. But I would not let the HOA take it down. I don't believe in the HOA. Even though I do technically have one and I have to pay an exorbitant amount of fees, which I'm not pleased with at all. Goes to Columbia. I'll never see that money. And I just pay this to be told what to do, but it's ridiculous. That's beside the point. People aren't getting paid enough for this. I lost my train of thought, but people aren't getting paid enough for this, folks. And when you lose your officials and you have no one to officiate your game, you have no game. You just don't. You could have the team organized. You could have all the players. You could be willing to pay. I think the fee for YMCA for a season is $60. You could be willing to pay $160. You're willing to pay way more. But if you don't have officials and you don't have an administrative department that's going to say, yep, we're going to put on these games, we're going to create the schedule, then you don't have a game. And you're going to go elsewhere. Which, by the way, means you're going to consolidate the supply, which means prices go up, which means officials' prices are going to have to go up, which means the opportunity for officials is going to be lower with an already lower supply. It's not good. It's not good, and that means officials are going to have to ref more games a night. It's not good. We're heading in a dangerous direction, and parents are ruining it. You're setting a terrible example. If you're a parent out there, and for the record, I'm not saying that all parents are like this. It's unfortunately a select few that, frankly, is all too common, but I know it's not everyone. If you're a parent out this, I hope you learn this. I hope you listen to this. I really do. And I'm going to be a parent one day too. So I'm speaking to myself in this as well, if it makes you feel better. I'm a competitive person. I want to win every game. I do. When I was growing up, I wanted to win. I wanted to be the best grade. I wanted to, succeed. I wanted to make my college application the best possible, thing imaginable, all that. I'm competitive. I get it. And I know you want your child to win. I get it. I get it completely. But you need to you really do, think about the example that you're setting. You really do. And how you treat people. Because how you treat people is how your children are going to treat people in 20 years. It's the truth. It's the truth. And what you do routinely that you might say, oh, it's just what I do. It's just how I act. This is commonplace. Might not be a big deal to you, but they're picking up on it. And the decisions you make in the immediate future that might seem on the edge for you, might be risky for you. You look back and say, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but I did. I probably shouldn't have said that. That next generation says, okay, that was, understandable. That happened. That's acceptable. That's a guaranteed decision that I'm making. And then I'm going to push even further on the limits for what is risky or divisive. This rhetoric is unacceptable. It's a problem. It really is. It's going to be a bad day, but I'm telling you, if you're watching this, listen to it. You can have the most demand in the world, but if you don't have supply, you don't have a market. Not an efficient one at that. And youth sports are dying. And the pay for play is only going to make things worse. It's probably, frankly, only going to accelerate it. Now, if you will pay officials more, you'll get someone out there who's willing to take up, the butt whipping constantly and be told how bad they are. You'll find someone to do it. Don't know if it'll be someone good, but you'll find someone to do it. It's a shame. It really is, because those kids don't deserve it. These 10-year-old kids are just trying to learn the game of basketball, learn a little bit more about it, learn how to play as a team, probably meeting some friends and expanding the existing relationships they have, whether it be through school or church or community events. They're just trying to enjoy themselves, folks. That's all they're trying to do. And the parents are ruining it. They're absolutely ruining it. If anyone knows me, I really enjoy basketball. I really do. I like baseball more, but I enjoy basketball. I really do. Anyone who knows me knows that. And I can't imagine walking onto that court again and having to referee anymore. I really can't. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. It's awful. You already see it in high school, for the record. If you're in South Carolina, you listen to 105.5, the Roar FM, you'll hear an ad from the SCHSL, which is the South Carolina High School Sports League. Okay? And they are constantly begging officials to apply and, come on board, because the state as a whole in all sports needs officials. You do. But the money's not there. People aren't going to put up with that treatment for the money. They're just not. And it's a problem. So administrators, your responsibility is to create a environment where officials are valued and wanted. And that means setting clear expectations for fans in terms of what's allowed and what's not. And fans, it's being respectful. You don't have to agree with every call. And you can voice your distaste. You can. It's fine. But profanity and accusations and harassment, that's not acceptable. It's not okay. And it shouldn't be okay, for the record. If you're out there saying, oh, just man up and grow tougher again, that's not okay. Okay? Not okay. It's not the 50s anymore. You can't treat people horribly. You just can't. You're going to pay for it. Okay? You want someone refereeing your game, you need to show a little bit of respect. Doesn't have to be perfect. Again, we're not perfect. We're not God. We don't, I'm not saying you should treat us as King Tut, but we need to have common human decency to each other again. We do, especially fans to officials. It's gotten out of hand. It really has. It's gotten completely out of hand. So if you're watching this, perhaps most I want you to leave with is just watch how you act around young people. You're setting an example, whether you think you are or not, you are. And look out for youth sports. I mean, look at it. There's probably some factors contributing to this that I didn't note in this video. But unless things change, unless we as a society start to appreciate each other more, we're going to see youth sports fall. We're going to see a lot of other industries within society fall as well. But that's one that was on the top of my mind. Hope y'all have a good evening. Have a good rest of your day. I don't know how many more times I'll post, but I really appreciate it if you stayed through the end of this video just to hear my comments. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and y'all take care.